Uh-oh, I totally forgot to cap off this lens. Great. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Stephen Foster, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about VND filters, diffusion filters, mashing them up, combining them together, because what I have right here is the Moment Cinebloom. Now, I've been using Polar Pro's VNDs plus their VND Plus Mist. And their VND Plus Mist? Oof. This is gonna be another one of those videos. So one of the things I really like about shooting with VNDs is getting really great color neutral shots. Now, if you don't already have a VND, I think you should. I think it's a really key piece if you're gonna be doing content outside in sunlight. Even if you have that nice soft diffuse light from a cloudy day, being able to bump down a stopper or two and then take sort of that saturation out of your colors and just get a little bit more of an image that is, I think, more pleasing. I don't know, I really like the look of having a VND shooting outside. Obviously indoors I'm not using VNDs because I can control all the light in here, I can balance this out. Might be getting some new lights here soon to help fill out the studio and really make things pop. As you can see, complete mess here because we just got back from a trip, leaving on another trip on Monday. Second to last of like this travel run here that we have going into July and like mid-July. But once that is done, I'm excited actually to be right here for a little bit and synthesizing and showing you guys kind of all the crazy stuff we've been able to do over the last few months. But let's talk VNDs plus diffusion, because as you guys know, Polar Pro has their Mist filter that I did a video on about 6 months ago. Now, in that video I talked about how the Mist plus VND kind of moves color around. You could tell that everything in the shot is influenced, not just diffused as individual elements, but then color from different elements in the environment kind of come together. And I demonstrated that with these two shots. One where I took it with just the VND, and then another shot with the VND plus Mist. And you see there's a little bit of like warmer tones getting spread out through the shot. Now, since getting the Moment Cinebloom, is there a big difference between having the Cinebloom filter plus a VND filter like the Polar Pro's versus just having it all in one filter like the Mist filter that Polar Pro makes? Now, I took some test shots with both the Moment Cinebloom and the VND, Polar Pro's VND stacked on top of it. And what I noticed, and I'll show you guys here in these few images, is that I didn't get any vignetting while filter stacking. Now, these two filters are very high quality filters. I think Moment and Polar Pro both make really high quality stuff, and I've really enjoyed using their products. And using them together has been totally fine as well. So I was actually really happy to see I get a lot of color neutrality without a lot of color cast, or at least influence from the color in my scene. Now, you still get that great softness, but it's a little bit different than the Mist edition. You can see in these two shots, the Mist edition, this VND plus diffusion built right into it, kind of influences some of these shots where, if you look at the shot here, it was a beach day, I realized I had all three of these filters on me and thought, I'm gonna do a comparison and see what happens. There's a little bit of this like yellowing and warmness that's coming into the green in the background here. I do like the skin tones that come off with the VND plus Mist. I think it just warms it up a little bit and then also softens it at the same time, and the way that it does it is just really pleasing. But then again, kind of shooting with both the Cinebloom and the VND on top of it, I realized I really liked the separation that I still got from the scene. It didn't kind of blend all the colors together and make for more of this, yeah, stylized shot. I felt like I really was still keeping the color neutrality from the VND, and then with the Mist filter, just kind of sort of diffusing what was already there without a lot of color influence. So I wanted to do this comparison because these two solutions are very close together. Now, if you already have a VND like the Polar Pro Signature Series, that's a great filter. Hang on to that, use it. And I really do enjoy the Polar Pro Defender cases. If you have not used one of these yet, find a way to get your hands on it, because I think this just makes every VND, any really filter. I wish all my filters could have this case. I don't really like this Moment plastic case that the Cinebloom comes in. The Cinebloom filter itself is great, but not a fan of this, especially when I can have the Defender case, which if you haven't seen this thing in action, you just gotta use it. You just gotta use it. The Cinebloom that I have is the 10% flavor or varietal of diffusion, and Polar Pro's Mist edition I found is like about a 1/8, so like a 12.5% diffusion. So not too much difference in the diffusion strength between these two filters. So it's a very similar comparison. But now here comes the price, is if you already have a set of signature VNDs or some type of VND, do you want to buy a VND Plus mist from Polar Pro, which if you buy an individual one, they go for about $250. I think if you buy a 2-pack, you can save $50 and so on. Polar Pro has some nice like combo deals with these, but it still is expensive versus filter stacking and getting something like the Moment Cinebloom, which only cost, I think this is for the 82 millimeter thread mount that I have on my kit. This was about $70, I think goes for about 70 something dollars. So this is a more affordable solution. Now, here's what I'll tell you that I found is shooting landscapes with Polar Pro's VND stacked on top of the Moment Cinebloom to give it that sort of diffused look, kind of remove some of the noise with trees or other like things that can happen in nature, like granite rocks, where it can kind of be overwhelming if it's a really detailed shot. But if you introduce some of that diffusion, kind of almost give it that film look. There's a lot more things that go into the film look, and film people, don't come at me. I love y'all. Y'all are great people. Be great. I'm doing things a little different over here. It's okay, it's okay. But if you want something like that where you can soften your shot out in a landscape, still have a lot of color neutrality and being able to have some vibrance and saturation and independence of those colors that you won't get by not using a VND, I think this is the killer setup. The Cinebloom plus a VND on top of it, preferably Polar Pro's VND, best one I've used yet. Here's where I think the Mist shines. Now yes, it's easier to just throw on one instead of having to do the filter stacking. I don't really think there's a quality difference though. I mean, like I said, these are some really high quality filters. You're gonna be spending a few $100s for either of these setups. But with the Mist edition, I really love how skin tones look, and I really love what it does to human subjects. It's a little bit more than that 10%, and that just slight increase in power without going to like the 20% Cinebloom, which is for me a little stylistically too much. I love shooting human subjects with this. I think Polar Pro's Mist edition, it is still stylized a bit, but it's subtle. It's not overblown, it's not overdone. And it does make human subjects, especially out in nature, look really great, or just out and about. If you want to sort of like remove a lot of visual noise and just sort of get portraits and shots of people, I think this is your filter to go with. I think this could even be fun at weddings. I don't shoot weddings, but might be something if you shoot a lot of outdoor weddings or engagements or something where you want like a little bit more of like a dreamy kind of feel to it. I think this could do pretty well in that environment. So that's what I wanted to say about these two setups. Filter stacking, not bad. It can give you a really great option to have both diffusion when you don't need a VND, plus throw the VND on there, still get great color neutrality plus diffusion. Big fan of that. But then when you're shooting people, man, there's something magical just about Polar Pro's Mist filter. I do really like it. I hope to shoot more with it. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's where I'm posting a ton of these shots. You can see and follow me through these crazy things. I've been posting stuff from this trip to Bear and Glacier and a couple more national parks coming up here in just a few moments. That's all I wanted to say today. Hopefully you already have a VND. I think you should consider this sort of Mist. I feel like I can make like a sandwich with these. If you are not already using a VND, I think you should, especially if you're shooting outdoors. It's summer. It's summer. We should be using VNDs outside and making those really good shots. I love it when it's a sunny day, dropping a VND on and just lining up a great shot. It's harder. It's definitely harder. A lot of people talk about the soft diffused light and how many great shots you can get with that, and that's true. But don't let anyone tell you can't get great shots when the sun's shining, because I think that's some of the most fun and epic shots that one can take. And you know, if you want to level up, don't just shoot under gray skies. Shoot in all environments. Make the best of any and every environment you get. That's what being a photographer is about. I got a little ranty there, I'm sorry. But that's, I feel really strongly about that. I think it's just really important to find ways to make beauty regardless of the scenario, regardless of whatever's happening in the sky. With that said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Stephen Foster. For all of you who are subscribed, I'm honored by you. You guys are radical, sweet, awesome. I don't even know how to say it all. Just, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. If you aren't subscribed, make it happen. Let's go. Let's get on this train together. We're going places. We're gonna have a good time. We already are having a good time. So please be kind, both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to spread good vibes across the internet. And we will do it again soon. Later.